Hi, welcome back guys, it's Mike Newton here. In this video, we're going to take a look at, for me, one of the biggest mistakes many golfers do in the setup with a putter that costs them many missed putts when out on the golf course. Stay tuned, hopefully we're going to help out your putting. Okay, so many of the modern putters out on the market today are, you see some weird and wonderful shapes, don't you? And I think the mallet putters particularly are taking sort of very much a more popular option for many golfers, just really purely with that alignment aid and some bigger long sections of lines on the back and all those sort of square looking parallel lines, a little bit more visual, helps a lot with alignment. But again, what I tend to see so many times is where golfers actually position the ball in relation to the sweet spot of the putter when they actually set up to the golf ball. Now, in the past, I've done a lot of video analysis and slow motion of ball roll through putter fitting. And what I tend to sort of see is obviously when you miss hit, like you would do with a driver with an iron, you miss hit the sweet spot or, hit the heel of the toe, then the ball's going to jump and it's going to jump offline. So if you're trying to pick a line of a putt, you're making a really good stroke, but you're misstriking it slightly, which we all do, to be fair. The ball is going to slightly jump offline and you've got a greater chance of missing that particular putt. So what is the biggest thing I find that golfers make a mistake of when setting up to the putter? And really what it is actually placing the ball in the sweet spot to start with. Okay, so imagine when you look down from in your setup position with a putter, the shaft tends to, again, there's lots of different ways this shaft will meet the head through different designs of putters, but generally that shaft will go into that heel section. In that heel section, behind the shaft, in the real extended part of the heel or the far end of the heel, we've got a little bit of excess of the putter head. So, and we don't tend to see that when we're in that address position. What we do tend to see is obviously from that front of that shaft all the way to the toe section. So what golfers tend to do is position the ball in the middle of that length from that shaft to the toe, forgetting about that dead excess of heel that's behind the actual shaft and it's a little bit hidden from your eye line at setup. So you'll see from this particular shot here how this ball is actually sat perfectly in the middle between the far extreme of the heel to the far extreme of the toe, and you can see the black line on the ping putter there is splitting the ball right through the middle of the golf ball. So ultimately that's sat right in the sweet spot of the golf club. And again, just looking from this angle here, how the ball sits right in the middle of the whole head. So even with a club face there, we can see the ball sat perfectly in the centre. Now, when you look at it from the bird's eye view, or in the position that you will sort of see as you're in that setup position, you can see there's more gap between the toe and the ball there, between the ball and the shaft. Okay, so some people will have the impression, even though there's that black line on there, that the ball is a little bit in the heel of the golf club. So typically what I would see is they want to place that ball a little bit more there, so it's slightly more in the toe of the club, thinking that it's the middle because now it's more halfway between that toe to the ball and the ball to the shaft, forgetting about that excess at the back of the putter. So again, when we look at that from the back section of the putter, which again you'll never see this part of the putter, but you can see now this distance here is quite equal to this distance from the toe to the ball to the shaft, forgetting about this excess in the heel. So clearly from here it looks like it's in the toe section, but from the above in the address position it looks like it's in the middle of the part of the putter head that you can actually see. And again the same when we look from the front section, clearly see more heel exposed there than the toe section. But if you think about this front edge of this shaft here, that section is equal to that section, so can appear like the ball's in the middle of the club face. Okay, so there we go. Just take that little bit of time in that alignment and just make sure, and maybe what I would do is get on the putting green, get yourself set up where you think you're comfortable, where you feel like you would normally address that golf ball, and maybe if you can get somebody just to hold that putt and you come around and stand back and just have a look at it from that back section of the putter. It'll be very noticeable if you are slightly off centre. You might not doing it, but it's very much worth checking it. I do see so many golfers. I had a guy the other day for a putting lesson, and he had a two ball putter. So obviously with his ball there, it's very powerful with 3 balls in a line, yet he still played it out of that toe section, thinking he was in the middle of the actual putter. So it's worth just checking. And I think when you if you are slightly out the toe and you start striking off the middle of that sweet spot, you'll feel a massive difference of how that ball comes off, how it rolls, and how it stays on that intended line, and hopefully a lot more putts. Okay, let me know your thoughts, comment down below. If that's you, love to hear it as always. If you've made the change, how has that strike changed for you? Have you holed more putts? Again, love to hear your thoughts as always. Appreciate you watching. Share the video around if you found it useful. Click the like button. More important, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Appreciate your support as always, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.